Hi everyone, today we'd like to present about the plant adaptation to survive in diverse environments. For everyone information, plants have evolved a remarkable adaptations to thrive everywhere from scorching deserts to lush wetlands. These specialized features ensure survival in challenging conditions while maximizing growth and reproduction. Before we start our presentation, let me introduce myself and my group members. So this is me, Fia, and my friend Dahlia, also Anis. At the next slide, you guys can see my two other group members, which is Dior and Shasa.
Xerophytes are plants that live in dry environments such as desert. They have thick, fleshy stem or leaves to store water for a long time. Besides, the function of a waxy cuticle is to cover the surface so that it can reduce water loss. Furthermore, leaves are small or spiny to reduce water loss through transpiration. Last but not least, xerophytes use chemphotosynthesis, where stomata open at night to reduce water loss during the day. Example of xerophyte plant is a cactus. Hydrophytes are plants that live in or on water. They have large, flat leaves that float to capture sunlight. Air-filled tissue, called as erythema, help the plant float. Besides, their cuticle is thin or absent, allowing direct absorption of nutrients from water. Why stomata are on the upper surface of the leaf? It is because to allow gas exchange with air. Example of hydrophyte plant is a water lily.
Now I'm going to explain about mesophytes. Mesophytes are plants that grow in an environment with a moderate supply of water. They live in places that are neither too dry nor too wet, such as gardens, farms, grassland, and forests. These plants have well-developed roots to absorb water, normal stems, and broad flat leaves that helps in photosynthesis. Their stomata are mostly found on the lower surface of the leaves, allowing normal gas exchange and transpiration. Mesophytes do not have special adaptation to store water or survive extreme conditions, so they depend on regular rainfall. Common examples of mesophytes include sunflower, mango tree, hibiscus grass, and bean plants. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Dahlia Anna Yahudi. Today, I would like to present about root adaptations for survival. This slide shows root adaptations for survival in different environments. There are three types of roots, such as xerophytic, hydrophytic, and mesophytic roots. First, xerophytic roots. These roots are found in plants that live in very dry areas, such as deserts. They have extremely deep taproots that can reach underground water tables. Some roots can grow more than 100 feet deep, which helps the plant survive even where there is very little rain. Second, hydrophytic roots. These roots belong to plants that live in water or very wet environments. Their absorption function is reduced because water is absorbed directly through the stems. They also have special anchoring structures that help prevent the plant from being washed away by water currents. Lastly, mesophytic roots. These are found in plants that grow in moderate environments where water is neither too much nor too little. The root system is balanced and helps maximize water and nutrient uptake. In addition, mycorrhizal associations help improve absorption, making these roots efficient for normal growing conditions. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I am Fia Vanisha. In this presentation, I would like to explain about the STEM adaptations across the environments. So first, I'm going to talk about the xerophytic stems characteristic. As we know, xerophytes are plants that live in a very dry areas like desert and any hot areas. Their stem change shape and function to help the plants to survive with a very little water. So now let's get into the xerophytic stem characteristic. First, it has thick and fleshy stem to store water inside the stem. Second one, it has a waxy or shiny outer layer that acts like a waterproof coat to reduce water loss. Third, it has no leaf to avoid losing water through transpiration. Fourth one, it has green stem since the stem will take over the photosynthesis process, and of course it needs a chlorophyll to make food. Fifth one is ribs or pleats on the stem to allow the stem to expand when water is available and shrink during the drought. And the last one is it has deep and extensive root system to absorb as much water as possible from the soil. I also provide the notes that can help you memorize and understand the xerophytic stem characteristic easier. So we will use the acronym WATER, which is W stand for waxy surface, A for X as leaf, T as thick and fleshy, E for expandable stem, and R for roots are deep and wide. So the next one that I would like to explain in this presentation is about hydrophytic stem characteristic. So as we know, hydrophytes are plants that live in a very wet place like ponds, lakes, and swamp. Their stem adapt to help them survive in the water. So let's talk about the hydrophytic stem characteristic. First, it has soft and weak stems since they don't need to support their own weight because it has water to hold them up. Second one is the presence of erythema. It makes the stem light and help with floating. Third, it has thin cuticles since they don't need to prevent water loss because water is everywhere. Fourth, it has less developed xylem because they don't need strong water transport tissues since water is easy to access because they are in water. The next one is the flexible stems. It has flexible stems so they can bend with water currents without breaking to prevent structural damage. And the last one is green stems. Like leaf, they can do photosynthesis underwater or at the surface. And I also provide the notes for you to understand and memorize about the hydrophytic stems characteristic easier. We will use the acronym which is FLOAT, F for flexible, L for light with air spaces, O for oxygen stored and transported through air chambers, A for always soft, and D for thin cuticle. Last one that I would like to explain is about the mesophytic stems characteristic. As we know, mesophytes are plants that live in a moderate condition which is not too dry and not too wet. Their stems are normally developed since water is available in a balanced amount. I will explore the mesophytic stem characteristic. First, it has well-developed vascular tissues. Xylem and phloem are well formed for efficient water and food transport. Second, it has moderate cuticle, which is not too thick like xerophytes and not too thin like hydrophytes. Third, it has strong and firm stem to help support leaf, flowers, and fruits. Fourth, it has less air spaces compared to hydrophytes. Air spaces are small or absent. Fifth, normal transpiration rate. Water loss occur at a balanced rate. And the last one is green young stems, which can carry out photosynthesis. I also provide the notes for you to understand and memorize about the mesophytic stem characteristic easily. We will use the acronym which is normal, N stand for normal environment, O for organized vascular tissues, R rigid and strong, M stand for moderate cortical, A for average transpiration, and the last one is L, which is stand for little air spaces.
This slide explains how plants adapt to different environmental conditions. In xerophytic plants, which live in dry environments, leaves are usually small or spiny. They have a thick cuticle and fewer sunken stomata to reduce water loss. In hydrophytic plants which live in water are large and thin. They have many stomata on the upper surface to allow easy gas exchange. Meanwhile, mesophytic plants live in moderate environments. Their leaves are medium-sized with a balanced cuticle and evenly distributed stomata. Overall, leaf adaptations help plants control water loss and survive in different environments.
The conclusion for this topic is plant adaptations are important because they allow plants to survive in different environments. These adaptations help obtain water, nutrients, and light efficiently. They also reduce the effects of environmental stress such as drought and excess water. As a result, plant adaptations increase the chance of growth and reproduction, making survival possible even in extreme or changing conditions. That is all from us. Thank you.